identify X and Y in the below mentioned reactions. You should also make a careful note of the fact that C star refers to carbon 13, the isotope of carbon as such. So, how should we approach this problem, Gopi?
Yes. First, the reagent given to us is NBuLi. It is called N-butyl lithium. I'll draw the structure for you. You have N-butyl, which is this one, and lithium Li plus minus. So you can see that this N-butyl lithium supplies carbanion. So this can act as either base or nucleophile. If there is any acidic hydrogen, this symbol means there exists. If there exists any acidic hydrogen in the mixture, it acts as base. If there is no acidic hydrogen and if there is any electrophilic site, then it acts as nucleophile. Now, in the reactant, we have CHFClBr. Now, let's draw the structure of it. It's quite simple. CHFClBr. Now, this is acidic hydrogen because if this compound loses H plus ion, then you will get C minus Br Cl F. Now, all these halogens are electron withdrawing groups by minus I. That is, they take out electrons by inductive effect. Also note that chlorine has vacant d orbital. So this carbanion can donate its lone pair of electrons to chlorine, and there is a possibility for back bonding.
Okay.
Now, in the reagent, along with the reagent, we are also given that it's being maintained at a high temperature. Now, at this high temperature, CX bond cleaves. Now you have to decide which of the CX bond, that is CF, CCl or CR bond, which of these bond cleaves. If you look into the bond dissociation energy of CX, you have CF is greater than CCl greater than CBr, because carbon atom is small in size and fluorine is also small in size. As a result of it, their orbitals can overlap effectively.
But the same won't happen with Br?
No, because bromine is very large in size, say this much, and carbon is very small comparatively. There won't be effective overlap between the orbitals of them.
Okay.
So if you add Ci also, it's even less than Cbr. Ci. So at this high temperature, Cbr bond cleaves away. You will get C, Cl, F, Br minus, and you have a lone pair of electrons. Now, this one we call as carbene. This is your X. So the first part is formation of carbene. Remember this. Now, this carbene is neither an electrophile nor nucleophile.
Okay, and why is that so?
Because the carbon atom has 6 electrons. It has neither accepted electron nor lost an electron.
Okay.
So it is neither electrophile nor nucleophile. So what this carbene does is, it undergoes addition reaction with C double bond C. If you notice the second part,
hell is this dude? Where did this come from?
we shall do the second part.
Let's continue from here. We'll continue from here itself. That part in the video will get edited.
Yeah. Now let's do the second part of it. I already told you that this carbene is neither electrophile nor nucleophile, and it undergoes electrophilic substitution. To C double bond C. That is, it acts on this. Now let's see what happens actually. For the second reaction, you have X is made to react with this molecule. These are isotopes of carbon, and you have hydrogen or nitrogen. Now, the carbene which you have is C F Cl, and you have this one. Now, also note that this has a vacant orbital, which is a pz orbital. You can note this from electronic configuration of carbon, which is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Try to solve this. If you pair this, I am writing only the outermost configuration of it. Now, if it pairs up, then you will get this is pz, and this is where this bond is, this lone pair of electrons is. This is pxa, py, this is s orbital, so it has a vacant orbital. And we were also told that C double bond C is a nucleophile, so it donates its electrons to it, and this carbene donates its electron to this carbon atom, which will now have a positive charge. As a result of it, you will get a compound like this one, and hydrogen and nitrogen. Also, these two are isotopes, C F Cl. Now look into it very carefully. Before the reaction, this molecule has aromaticity. Now you will come to know it in benzene chapter, don't worry about it. For now, just remember that this compound has aromaticity, and aromatic compounds are very much stable. Now, because of addition of this carbene, this compound has lost its aromaticity, but there is a possibility for it to regain its aromaticity again, that is by transfer of bond. Now see how this bond transfer occurs. This bond will shift in this direction, and also from the bond dissociation energy we were shown that CF bond is stronger than Cl bond. So this bond leaves away, and you will get nitrogen here, and you have fluorine here. Also, these two are your marked, that is C13 C13 carbons. Now, in the second part, you are given this compound, N here, H here, double bond, and these are the isotopes. Also observe that this lone pair on nitrogen is in resonance with all these bonds, and also it has 6 pi electrons, so it is aromatic. since it has 4n plus 2 electrons. Now see what this carbon does to this compound. You have the compound this way, and this is your carbon. You have fluorine here, you have fluorine, 2 electrons, and this is the vacant orbital on this carbon. You can note that the carbon here has a vacant orbital by writing the electronic configuration of carbon. Now this one, this C double bond C, donates its electrons to this lone pair of carbon, and this carbon in turn donates its electrons to this carbon, which will now get a positive charge. As a result of it, you will get this compound. Yeah, this one, FCl. Just now I've told you that this compound is aromatic, and aromatic compounds are very stable. Now, because of addition of this carbene, it has lost its aromaticity. But there is a possibility for it to regain its aromaticity, and that is this way: nitrogen donating electrons to this carbon, and this one opening up in this direction. And just now I've told you that CF bond is stronger than CCl bond because this has high bond dissociation energy. So when this bond goes in this direction, this leaves away, and what you will get is nitrogen and the benzene ring with a positive charge, and fluorine here, and the isotopes here. So this is what your compound Y. In this question, be careful with the addition of carbene, and be careful with this aromaticity of the given compound, and see how this bond cleaves away. I mean, how the electron transfer has taken place, and which of the bond, that is CF bond or CCl bond, has broken.
Find P and Q for the following reactions.
So first let's try to find P. First step is identify reagent. The reagent which you have here is LiAlD4. Just like LiAlH4, it supplies D- instead of H-. Now this D- can act as either base or as nucleophile. If there is any acidic hydrogen, it acts as base. If there isn't any acidic hydrogen, or if there is any electrophilic site, it acts as nucleophile. Now let's see the reactor or the substrate given to us. You have this one, and you also have an epoxide group. Just see here, this epoxide one is very unstable because the carbon atom and the oxygen atom here are sp3 hybridized, and the bond angle for sp3 hybridization is 109 degrees 28 minutes, but here the bond angle is 60 degrees. As you can see, there is a lot of angle strain developed here, so it tries to cleave away as soon as possible. Now you have D- in the mixture, so to relieve it from strain, D- can attack either from this one, let's call it as side A, or at this side, let's call it as side B. If it attacks on side A, you will get this one. You have two methyl groups attached here. It's attacked on D and you get O minus. So it cleaves in this way if it attacks on side A. Now if it attacks on side B, you have this compound, two methyl groups here, and D is attacked here, so this bond shifts in this way, O minus. Now next thing is we have water in the mixture, so this take H from water and you will end up getting this compound. Yeah, this one, two methyl groups and OH, and for here you will get these two things, OH here and D here. Now this is gonna be major, yeah, this is gonna be major one and this is gonna be your minor one, because D minus suffers spherical hindrance from two methyl groups, so this is your minor one and this is your major one. Now let's try solving the second part of it, where you have H3O plus instead. Now since it is acidic medium and you also know that oxygen has lone pair of electrons, this attack on H plus, so you will get this compound, a protonated one. Now oxygen has to regain its electrons, so it can shift either in this direction or in this direction. Call it as A and this one as B. So if it cleaves through A direction, you will get this compound. I'll show you the diagram for it. OH, and you will get a positive charge here. If it cleaves through B direction, you will get a structure like this one, OH and a positive charge here. Now if you observe these two, this one is gonna be your major product because it has more hyperconjugation structures possible than this one. Now this alkene is a nucleophile and here we have an electrophilic site, so this attacks on this alkene. What you will get is a 6-membered ring, which is a very stable one. OH and a positive charge here. Now you have H here. This will undergo dehydration to give an alkene. So I've tried for one pathway. Now I want you to try similarly for the pathway B. Now it's very similar as the previous one. The difference is that you will get a 5-membered ring here. So here we end up this question.
Alright, so try solving pathway B, and you already have the hint for it which says that it's going to be a 5-membered ring. I'm sure by looking at the figure itself, you're able to identify why it's going to be a 5-membered ring, as it's a very similar problem as the one we solved right now. So try solving it for yourself and then let's move on to the next question.